Yes, I am ready for some good news and some bad news.
No doubt. Give it to me early.
Okay, so as we keep speaking about Black History 365, but women's history. I look at women's history from not just Black women, but women in general. There are many laws that weren't passed that women were, oppressed. So for women's history, we are going to recognize Mary Florence Potts, the creator of the wooden handle. So we women are so freaking amazing. We can run a household, run a business, all while having a family. And this is just what Mary Florence Potts did. In honor of Women's Month, We Talk Weekly is highlighting dope women. Potts invented the clothes iron with the detachable wooden handle, which was exhibited here in Philadelphia at the Exposition World Fair in 1876. Potts, who was only 19 years old at the time, a wife and a mother of a toddler, had a son when she applied her first patent. Potts did not invent the initial iron, but created the clothes iron. Potts patented her idea of the double pointed shape, and it's unlike the original iron, which had like hollow undertones in it, but Potts implemented solid metal. The metal allowed the heat to last longer. The most outstanding feature was the detachable rounded wooden handle. This idea prevented people from burning their fingers, and you didn't have to wait a long time for the iron to cool down. Potts sold her clothes iron idea, and it was later franchised and manufactured by the Machine Company of Philadelphia. Many major companies use Potts' creative concepts to this day, like Gillette with the removable disposable blade.
Wow.
So back in the 1800s, we had women running the household, running businesses, and still having, being a parent.
Yeah.
Yes. And it's still like that to this day. And a lot of the women are holding it down. They got, lives, they're taking care of the kids and doing everything. So yeah, that's awesome. That's
We're just
awesome.
getting recognized, which is the sad part because a lot of the things that we as women weren't being recognized for. So, yeah. But
Mm.
when you iron your clothes now, you'll think of Miss Potts.
It's Potts. No
Yes.
doubt.
Mary Florence Potts. She's the reason for the handle and that diamond shape of your clothes iron. All right. So we are going to be talking about some bad news. This one I call Sharon Osbourne supports a racist. So this week's biggest question is, do birds of a feather flock together? So Sharon Osbourne is a 68-year-old British American television personality who is a co-host of The Talk and is also married to heavy metal artist Ozzy Osbourne. And she's coming under heat in support of her friend Piers Morgan. Piers, who was pretty much being canceled for a racist comment he made, which you can hear more about later in this show in the Sizzle, or go subscribe to our channels if you do miss the story. So, but getting back to Sharon, she tweeted a tweet that says, I am with you. I stand by you. People forget that you are paid for your opinion and that you're speaking your truth. That was a Twitter that she sent to her friend, Piers Morgan. Well, her co host, Sheryl Underwood, a Black comedian, didn't support what Sharon was condoning, and they had a crucial conversation to seek understanding. So Cheryl wanted to understand how Sharon, who she considers a friend, can stand by Piers, who is demonstrating racist antics. So during their conversation, you can hear the defensiveness of Sharon. And at one point, Sharon says, I feel like I'm being put into an electric chair because I have a friend who people think is a racist, which now makes people think that I'm a racist. So just an FYI, during their conversation, Cheryl specifically stated she doesn't think Sharon is a racist. Now, there was also a point in the conversation where Sheryl Underwood became emotional and sounded as if she was about to cry. So Sharon immediately says to her, don't you cry, Cheryl. I should be the one crying. So for those who may not know, Holly Robinson-Peete was one of the original co-hosts with The Talk in 2011. Holly took to Twitter and said that Sharon complained that she was too ghetto for the show, and after the first season, Holly was gone. Holly alleges that played a major part in her leaving the show. So on Friday, Sharon took to Twitter to apologize to the Black community about her defensive retaliation to Sheryl Underwood. Here's a part of what she said. I am not perfect. I'm still learning like the rest of us and will continue to learn, listen, and be better. So can I curse? Or I got to say like
go
horse
ahead. We'll
manure?
edit later, but go ahead.
That's some bullshit. That's some bull crap. Come on. I don't know. What's y'all thoughts on that?
First of all, for her to, if that wasn't the picture perfect idea of what white fragility and just pretentious all right. The problem that I have with that, right, is classic entitlement to say, right, pretty much, how dare you? How dare you question me? How dare you question me? How dare you speculate that I might be a little prejudiced to my friend? That I'm calling you my friend. We are classic friends, but it's somebody that trumps you. So I have a friend that trumps you. So I don't care if you think you're going to cry. You don't have a right to correct me. Although my show is called The What? What's the name of the show?
The Talk.
The Talk.
Yeah. Yeah.
How dare you correct me? How dare you? Better not cry. How do you tell somebody you better not cry?
So I know that, and I think that in order for me to like give opinion towards it, I want to wait until after the sizzle. So then that way we can take what the top of it happened and the trickle down effect, because it's more to it.
It is more to it.
Entitlement.
However, entitlement, white fragility, and pretentiousness. It sounds bigoted.
Yeah.
We didn't have to call her racist. She started talking about racism and how she wasn't a racist. No one called her racist.
And
no one called her racist.
Sheryl basically she was adamant to say that she considers her a friend and she does not consider her a racist.
And that's my point. Sheryl never called her a racist. She was trying to take up for her right now and say, pretty much try to help her. Like, yo, we're saying this. And she could not pull herself out of her entitlement to say, how dare you, pretty much. And Sheryl kept giving her like an exit. And she kept going and going and going. I was so upset about that because, I mean, I thought she was great. I have not ever had an inkling that she felt the way that essentially she felt.
She's British American, and not saying all Britain Americans are that way, but I say this: at the dinner table, there's a different kind of conversation.
It's definitely a different kind of conversation, I'm sure. Yeah. But yeah, disappointed to say the least. Disappointed to say the least.
Well, didn't her daughter Kelly say something about Zendaya's hair or outfit or her braids or something like that?
She said something. I think she had locks and said something about she looks like she smokes weed or marijuana. Was it something like that? If I can recall.
I can't remember, but I know she came at her hair.
That's what it. Yes, you're right. You're right. And Darlene said, so proud of Sheryl. She handled the situation very well. And Darlene, love my Darlene. Love me some Dar. I understand that kind of conversation of what she says. She handled the situation very well, but I'm tired of handling it well. I'm tired of being very, not not so much meek or docile, because I won't say Sheryl was that way, but she was very calm. Why? Why, if we get to the point where we show passion as Black women, we're now being aggressive. We're now like out of character. But she was completely the other one, Osbourne, Sharon Osbourne was completely out of character. You can tell she
Out of
was
character,
upset,
yes.
but it was okay. She's
Out of
like,
character.
yeah, come on. Why we
Well, that
always gotta stay calm?
that's the same way the first lady of the United States, Michelle Obama, had to keep her composure because she didn't want to live to the stereotype of being an angry Black woman. It's just it's sickening to me. It's sickening to me.
Yeah, it is,
I,
and
I think
it happens too often.
I think the issue that I have with that is if the shoes was on the other foot, Cheryl would have been out of there, no question.
Absolutely.
She would have been fired.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
Hmm.
And real quick, and I'm gonna make it brief as possible. I was in a meeting, corporate meeting, and I said something that wasn't being done. So a person who was in senior leadership says, "I feel like I'm being attacked by her," speaking about me, and raised her voice so high, and all these executive senior leadership were around and never said anything to her. Later said that it was handled, but I had to remain calm. I had to say, why are you raising your voice? Why are you projecting that aggression towards me? But I had to know that as a Black woman, had I mimicked or mirrored what she was doing, I would have been out of there.
Filing for unemployment.
And it's not right. I know, but she talked about it on Steve Harvey and why she reacted that way. That is not the norm for Cheryl. I agree with y'all.
And you
Yeah,
know what else I'm tired of too? When it comes to, them being called out, our white counterparts being called out for their the term that they're using now was racial what
Sensitivity.
insensitivity. Yeah, I think it's racial insensitivity or whatever it is. They go to somebody Black to be quote
taught,
unquote
Oh,
taught.
person.
woke.
Yes, that's
Yeah, to
schooling
learn.
them. Yeah, and then we gotta accept them back in. The same thing that Chris Harrison was doing with The Bachelor, and that's the Bachelorette, the Bachelor, and that's a whole
Mhm.
nother story. But I'm over it.
Soon as you have to go get a Black friend to say, "Oh, I have a Black friend. I'm not racist." Look,
The thing is with that, I wouldn't even be upset if they had a Black friend. The only problem I have is the Black friend that's being 100% honest with them, not the yes man, not the Black friend who's just the token. The
right.
Black man or the Black woman, the Black friend that's going to be like, nah, you wrong. You want some F boy stuff.
But that's what Cheryl was. They started this. Cheryl's been on there for as a veteran, very much like Sharon, and she's basically telling her, as your friend, I'm checking you. And you're
That's
now
right.
being defensive against me. And like now
That's
you're
right.
coming at me as if I'm attacking you and I'm trying to show you love. Like, get out of here. So
Yeah.
Kudos to Cheryl. I don't think anybody could have handled that as good as she did
as
on that show.
dignified. She really did.
Dignified, classic, classy,
Poised. Yep.
poised.
And seek to
And
understand.
that's right.
She asks questions as a seek to understanding type of way.
That's
Like,
right.
well, you really don't understand what you're validating for someone who's demonstrating racial antics. Like I'm trying to seek to understand where you're coming from so that I can let you know where I'm coming from. But Sharon wasn't receptive to that.
Yeah.
She felt like she was being attacked. And most people feel like they're being attacked when they're closed-minded or guilty.
Yeah. This is just it's a shame. It's a shame. I think we gotta do better. We have to stop feeling that we have to stop apologizing for checking someone who is more worried about their fragility, how they feel, their white fragility. And
Mhm.
so we see that, we assess it, and we say, "Oh, we need to pull back the reins." Oh no, don't say too much. Don't hurt their feelings too much. No, they need to be checked because if it was us, we'll start to be called girls and boys. Boy, you sit
Well,
down. You shut up and dribble.
well, you see, Holly
Hmm.
left. Holly did take to Twitter and
Yeah.
said that she said that she was too ghetto for the show, and soon after the first season, she was gone. Poof,
Yeah.
out of there.
Mm.
What's that about?
Yeah.
You're listening to WPPMLP Philadelphia 106.5 FM. We talk weeklies after the talk with your boy Charles Gregory and the beautiful
Lauren Sizzle.
Classy Lady Sparkle.
And we're at the top of the hour. And I'm gonna just throw this out real quick as we're at the top of the hour. If you feel like you want to support and donate, if you feel like you want to show a little love, please, we love any type of donation. $1, 50 cents. I think they'll charge you more than 50 cents. So, but $5, anything, would definitely help us to continue to do what we do. Coming up next, we have some music. We're gonna bring Lily on. She backstage waiting to tell us what's coming up in the past week and some of the new music that's out there. And we'll be right back after this show.
What's up, you guys? It's your girl Lauren Sizzle and Classy Lady Sparkle. And have you subscribed to our channel yet?
If the answer is no, you need to subscribe now.
Yeah, so stop what you're doing, go right now and subscribe. We like you, you like us, so go ahead and subscribe.
Come on over, be a part of the family of We Talk Weekly and subscribe to our YouTube channel.
So what are you waiting for? Subscribe
now.